job! Hey, hi, hello, what is up you guys? It's Krista Sue. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. That is right, I found a job that actually has to do with my degree. You might be saying to yourself, well, of course, Krista, of course you found a job that has to do with your degree. That is why you went to college. Well, it has been a long time coming. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my experience after college, how I coped with transitioning from college to the real world, how I found a job that I'm really excited about, and all the things I learned in between. I think this is going to be a long one, so let's get into it. Like I said before, finding a job that utilized my degree took a long time for me, as it does for a lot of people. I graduated from Washington State University, go Cougs, in 2018 with a BA in Strategic Communication with an emphasis in Public Relations. And you heard that right, I said 2018, and we are well into 2019. And no, I did not just sit on my ass for a year. I worked, but it definitely wasn't an ideal situation. After college, I moved in with my sister in Seattle, and I was so lucky enough to have my parents offer to help me with my half of the rent while I started to look for a job because I hadn't found one yet. And I applied to so many places and went on so many interviews and nothing stuck. I was rejected and not even responded to a lot of the time by so many places, and it really made me doubt myself for a long time. It got to the point where I just really needed a job and to pay the bills, so I ended up getting a job as a barista at a bakery, and I worked there up until a few months ago when I moved to Oregon. I want to first say that I don't think there is anything wrong with working in customer service. I think that any way that someone works to make their money and pay their bills and be a contributing member to society is completely valid and respectable. But just knowing that there was so much money and time and effort put into my education, and that there were people that graduated at the same time as me that were finding jobs, I really felt like I was letting so many people around me down. I started to feel like I was just a loser. I was letting myself down, honestly. I really let it get to me. And at the same time as this, I was getting acclimated to adult life. And I went through something that I have come to find a lot of people experience, and that's post-grad depression. When you're done with school and you know that you're not going to step foot on that campus again as a student, and you're not going to continue to experience those things in the same way ever again, this weird feeling comes over you and it really sticks. It's almost like nostalgia, but like sadder than that. Knowing that it came to an end is just really hard to come to terms with. When you're a part of this system for 16 years and then very suddenly you're yanked out of it, it affects you a lot deeper than you ever imagined it would. I don't think enough people address how big of a change this is and how deeply it affects you, and people aren't getting adequately prepared for the situation. And then all of a sudden you're just expected to figure it out. One of my biggest pieces of advice for someone that is dealing with a lot of rejection with the job hunt, or has post-grad depression, or you just don't like your job at all, is to really find something that makes you happy. You need to start to build a life for yourself that's outside of school or finding a job or the job that you have. That's one of the reasons why I started my channel. I absolutely love filming and editing videos. It just makes me so happy and excited when I do it. And also, I love watching YouTube videos, and it just gave me a way to escape from how sad and lonely I was. Not to get so deep and dark, but that was genuinely what was going on. And YouTube might not be that thing for you, but it really could be anything. Find something that makes you happy and do it. Make time for it. Make time for you. Another thing that I think is really important is staying productive while you're trying to find a job. Obviously there are only so many jobs you can apply to in a day, and if you sit there and just wait for responses, you are going to drive yourself insane, and you're just gonna find yourself in a cycle of negative self-talk that is really toxic. At least that's what I experienced. To offset this and prevent it, I got up each morning and I just right away started getting ready so that I was prepared to do any and all things throughout the day, whatever it may be. I also made a lot of to-do lists with things that I wanted or needed to do besides trying to find a job. I also always made a point to leave the house at some point during the day because being stuck inside really messed with my psyche. I've come to find out that a lot of people struggle with finding a job right outside of college. It's not a rarity. The post-grad job hunt is hard. Some people find jobs really quickly, they do, and they're jobs they like, and as lucky as they are, for me, it took a while. But I do have some tips that helped me find a job that I really, really like so far, even though I didn't have much experience or qualifications. If you are listening to this and you're still in school, get an internship. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Get an internship. Getting an internship with practical hands-on experience in the field that you're getting your degree in is so vital. It's what jobs are looking for. If you are out of school and you haven't had an internship, do not fret. You have way more experience probably than you're giving yourself credit for. To make up for my lack of experience on my end on my resume, I split my resume into 2 parts, and one was my work experience, and those were the jobs that I have been paid to do, like customer service and stuff like that. And then under that I had my volunteer experience. That is where I listed experiences where I wasn't necessarily working a job, but I had to use my learned skills from school to be able to do the things I was doing. For example, I used a semester-long project I used in my capstone course my senior year of college. I put that I was public relations chair of my sorority, and I also put that I designed a website for my sister's company. Obviously those 2 sections didn't fill up an entire piece of paper, so to fill up the empty space on my resume, one part I did was relevant courses that I had in college. If you're only a year or 2 out of school, I think listing the classes that you took could be really beneficial. I think that they can help portray all the things that you learned in your undergrad, and then you can always expand on it in your interview. Another thing you should really do is pay attention to your cover letter. It'll take a lot of time, but you need to individually tailor each one of them to every single job that you're applying to. Don't just have a mass cover letter that you send to every single company. It's way more obvious than you think it's going to be. Take this time to vouch for yourself and explain everything you can to them before they just take a glance at your resume and decide that you're not qualified for the position. If adjusting your resume and cover letter works for you and you do get that first interview, that is awesome. But then the most vital thing when you're in that interview is to be confident in yourself. When I first got out of college, I was so desperate for a job because I was just like a little fish in a big pond, you know? And then obviously getting rejected by so many companies did not help. I almost think that the people interviewing me just smelt the fear on me, and employers obviously don't want to hire someone that isn't completely confident that they can do the job well. Working that customer service job for a year, although it completely deteriorated my mental health, really made me realize a lot about myself and how I am as a worker. It made me realize who I am and what I want for my life. I went into this next period of unemployment not desperate, but eager to start my career. I knew what I wanted, and I knew that even if I didn't know how to do a job, I would learn how to and do it better than the next person because I wanted it more. And drum roll please. I ended up getting a job as a marketing coordinator for a hotel chain on the West Coast. And I've only been there for 3 weeks now, but I love it so much. I love everything about it so far. I love the people I work with, and I am like super stressed and have a lot of responsibility, but I'm pretty up for the challenge. I'm really excited to show up for myself in this moment of my life. Obviously, post-grad is no joke. It is a huge time of change for everyone that goes through it. So if you're having trouble coping and navigating this like weird gray area of life, just know that basically everyone goes through it. We are all so young and have so much life to live and things to figure out. I know that this is so much easier said than done, but just take this time to grow and really work on yourself. Your future self will really appreciate it if you do. Yeah, I hope this talk/story time sort of thing helped you out in some sort of way. I'm thinking about making it a series or something like Big Sis Advice, even though I'm like still a literal child. I don't know, I feel like I've learned quite a few things in the last like 5 or 6 years. that could be helpful to some people. If you did like it, then you should hit the thumbs up button down below and let me know, or like comment and tell me like a topic you'd want me to cover if I did end up making this a series. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. If you made it this far, then either you are really committed or I must have some redeeming qualities. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.